Toyota CEO Akio Toyoda talks about why he isn't all in on EVs. CEO Akio Toyoda last week simply stated what he would like his legacy to be: I love cars. Just how the 66-year-old racer, car enthusiast and company scion will be remembered regarding his approach to all-electric vehicles compared to gas-powered performance cars like the Supra, or hybrids like the once groundbreaking Prius, will play out in the years to come. Toyota, the world's largest automaker, plans to invest $70 billion in electrified vehicles over the next 9 years. Half of that will be for all-electric battery ones. While it's a substantial investment in EVs, it's smaller than some competitors' plans and not as much as some would like given Toyota's global footprint. Despite criticism from some investors and environmental groups, Toyota this past week doubled down on his strategy to continue investing in a range of electrified vehicles as opposed to competitors such as Volkswagen and General Motors, which have said they are going all in on all-electric vehicles. The plans could arguably cement Toyota's I Love Cars legacy or tarnish it, depending on how quickly drivers adopt electric vehicles. He said, "For me, playing to win also means doing things differently, doing things that others may question, but that we believe will put us in the winner's circle the longest." Toyota, who described Toyota as a large department store, said the company's goal remains the same: pleasing the widest possible range of customers with the widest possible range of powertrains. Those powertrains will include hybrids and plug-in hybrids like the Prius, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles like the Mirai, and 15 all-electric battery models by 2025. Aside from the EV plans, Toyota discussed several other aspects of the company's business last week during the dealer meeting and a small roundtable with U.S. media. Besides, Toyota reiterated that he does not believe all-electric vehicles will be adopted as quickly as policy regulators and competitors think, due to a variety of reasons. He cited lack of infrastructure, pricing, and how customers' choices vary region to region as examples of possible roadblocks. He believes it will be difficult to fulfill recent regulations that call for banning traditional vehicles with internal combustion engines by 2035. Like California and New York have said they will adopt. Toyota said, just like the fully autonomous cars that we are all supposed to be driving by now, EVs are just going to take longer to become mainstream than media would like us to believe. Toyota also believes there will be tremendous shortages of lithium and battery-grade nickel in the next 5 to 10 years, leading to production and supply chain problems. Toyota's goal is carbon neutrality by 2050. And not just through all-electric vehicles. Some have questioned the environmental impact of EVs when factoring in raw material mining and overall vehicle production. Since the Prius launched in 1997, Toyota says it has sold more than 20 million electrified vehicles worldwide. The company says those sales have avoided 160 million tons of CO2 emissions, which is the equivalent to the impact of 5.5 million all-electric battery vehicles. According to prepared remarks for Toyota provided to media, Toyota can produce 8 40-mile plug-in hybrids for every 1 320-mile battery electric vehicle and save up to 8 times the carbon emitted into the atmosphere. Toyota's hesitancy to launch all-electric vehicles has been criticized by environmental groups such as the Sierra Club and Greenpeace, which ranked the Japanese automaker at the bottom of its auto industry decarbonization rankings the past 2 years. However, Toyota Motor Corp said it expects operating profit to climb 10% this business year, with a 5-fold jump in pure electric vehicle EV sales amid an easing in global supply chain disruption wrought by a chip shortage. The growth plan was unveiled by new CEO Koji Sato, installed last month, and signals a more aggressive push towards electrification by the Japanese firm, which has previously pursued a go-slow approach to all-electric cars, arguing its strategy would provide more consumer choice. The world's biggest car maker by sales forecast battery EV sales, including those of its luxury Lexus brand, will reach 202,000 worldwide in the current business year through March 2024, up more than 5-fold from just 38,000 units last year. Toyota forecast operating profit will rise to 3.0 trillion yen this business year, in line with analysts' average forecast of 3.02 trillion yen. That target came operating profit for the fiscal fourth quarter through March surged more than a third to 626.9 billion yen, easily ahead of the average 553.46 billion yen profit estimated by 10 analysts, according to Refinitiv data. The result was helped by the weak yen boosting the value of overseas sales and higher output volumes that outweighed the impact of surging materials costs. Reflecting the weak yen impact, revenue for the business year ended March 2023 grew to a record 37.15 trillion yen. Toyota shares, which were nearly flat just before the release of the earnings, surged immediately after their publication and rose as much as 2.5% before paring gains to close up 0.8%. The new EV sales target, still a fraction of industry leader Tesla, would boost Toyota's battery EVs to nearly 2% of total sales volume, up from just 0.4% of its total vehicle sales in the last fiscal year. We expect an increase in overall sales volume in all regions and production volume of 10.1 million vehicles due to such factors as improvement in semiconductor supply, Toyota said in a statement. That would represent output growth of 11% versus the previous year. Seeking to raise its game in the EV sector, where it has been outstripped by new Chinese automakers as well as Tesla, Toyota has said it will introduce 10 new battery-powered vehicles, targeting sales of 1.5 million EVs a year by 2026. It aims to set up a dedicated unit to focus on next-generation battery EVs, executives on the company's new leadership team said last month. Though Toyota has succeeded in retaining its crown as the world's top-selling automaker, it also faces a raft of challenges going forward. It's under pressure in China, the world's biggest auto market, where a rapid shift to electric vehicles has hurt demand for the gasoline-powered cars that drove Toyota's early successes there. It also must handle problems at affiliate Daihatsu, which rigged safety tests for some Toyota-branded cars. You might be surprised to learn that Toyota hasn't, before now, sold a widely available, real electric vehicle in America. But they have not. Not really. Toyota, a pioneer in hybrids with the Prius, the name means to go before in Latin, hasn't been going before with electric vehicles. Tesla, Nissan, General Motors, Ford, Volkswagen, Audi, BMW, Hyundai, Kia and others have all beat Toyota to market with electric vehicles. There were 2 generations of Toyota RAV4 EVs, but those weren't available nationwide, and besides, they were really just regular RAV4 SUVs fitted with batteries and electric motors. The second generation of RAV4 EVs had Tesla, not Toyota, stuff inside. Toyota has long had a more conservative view of electric vehicles than some other automakers that have pledged to go all in, or nearly so, on EVs. Toyota isn't pledging to make nothing but EVs by any set date. The BZ4X was designed from the outset as an electric crossover SUV. It's not some other vehicle fitted with batteries, a technique that usually results in a substandard product. This SUV was engineered in partnership with Subaru, which offers its own electric SUV, the Solterra. Both are based on the same engineering, and they even look almost identical. As with many Toyotas, the BZ4X has some aggressive design elements on the outside that belie a refreshingly mundane experience on the inside. Toyota, the U.S. best-selling automaker last year, has earned its place by giving customers what they want. And what Americans mostly want is not to be bothered. There's nothing in this vehicle that most car owners would not be able to quickly figure out and adapt to. While some other EV makers aim for brain-crushing acceleration, the BZ4X takes about 7 seconds, give or take, to get from 0 to 60 miles an hour. And honestly, that's just fine. It's fairly quick, actually. No one really needs to accelerate faster than that. A little over 200 horsepower from the BZ4X's electric motor or motors, depending on whether you get all-wheel drive or not, is also perfectly decent and reasonable. The BZ4X is initially available only in Toyota's higher-end XLE and limited levels, which include lots of features and options. Prices start at around $42,000 for a front-wheel drive model. Those who buy soon will be able to take advantage of an available $7,500 tax electric vehicle tax credit. Each automaker is allowed a limited number of EV tax credits. They begin to phase out a few months after a given automaker's 200,000th credit. In what seems like a cruel cosmic joke, Toyota is about to run out of credits shortly after launching its first electric vehicle. That's because those EV tax credits also apply to plug-in hybrids, and Toyota has sold lots of those. But in exchange for getting that tax credit, I hope you like the black fenders. Finally, Toyota has also been successful in the field of electric vehicle production. However, in the near future, perhaps we still have to wait and see if the electric car that Toyota produces is different from other electric cars. It is this difference that can help Toyota increase sales in this electric vehicle industry.